Hello. Let's do some game development with the Godot Engine. We're working on a rocket game using Godot physics. I'll demo the game. Essentially, you have a small rocket, and you fly around, and you need to land on a launch pad while avoiding obstacles, some of which are static, and some of the obstacles are, this is a static one, some of them are dynamic. Here's a dynamic obstacle. We've based our prototype on a course from GameDev TV, and we've extended it and refactored the code. So here's an obstacle. There's the crash mechanic. So we have a doorway I need to open up. So this is an open source project on GitHub. There goes the door. And we have a backlog. You should have to have a clean landing, I think. Backlog of tasks. So today we're going to do some project management. And you get the basic idea. It gets increasingly challenging based on the obstacles and level design, which is where I think we're in the stage of level design right now. We have a Discord channel and GitHub repo. So let's hop over to the GitHub real quick. So we're available on github.com, Outward Light Studio, and the game we're just calling Nexus. Okay, it's not copying apparently. We have a pull request here I'm going to review today. Resident Tech has added 2 new game levels with increasing difficulty. So what we're going to do is check out the 2-level pack branch. In order to do that, I haven't installed the Godot Git plugin, so we're going to be hopping back and forth a little bit in VS Code. Just open the Rocket game in VS Code, and I'll just make sure our main branch is up to date, and I'll go ahead and remove an experiment I was working with the signal bus, trying to probably prematurely optimize the code. We did a refactor of the rocket into multiple controllers. You know, it's a bit more maybe modular, but these aren't quite modules you could use in another package. Anyway, it's componentized, I suppose. And so we're going to go to GitHub and check out this pull request, which will bring down changes. Our levels are here in, so there's 3 new files, a test environment, and level 6 and level 7. We're going to have to come up with a probably better way of organizing these. So the scenes, the levels are contained here in our levels directory. It's just kind of not very well organized right now. And they're numbered, so it's kind of been a bit awkward to manage them. But essentially what we're going to do is now hop back over to Godot and discard these local changes. That was a file I threw away just a moment ago. And let's see, so we can hop over to, oh yeah, you have to have at least one file up. Interesting. The scenes directly, so level 6. Oh, there it is. Interesting. So that's one convention. Space takes precedent over underscore. Maybe we don't need underscores. I think file names shouldn't have spaces in them. That could be one change I can make here in this pull request. Let's go ahead and play level 6. So let me open level 6. And then we'll play it. Okay, which we have a really big cube. Oh, nice. And this similarly sized big cube. Oh, Kesty. And it's surprisingly challenging. Oh man. Now we used to have it so that if you touched an obstacle or something, you would explode, but that was too extreme. But all right, there's a bug there that once you are on your side, the bubbles should stop flowing. It's a bit, or maybe they should. I'm thinking they should. It's a bit annoying. Now, if you do hit it with a certain velocity, it'll pop. So this is actually a kind of challenging level here. Oh gosh. All right. Yeah. All right, there we go. There we go. Our goal is to get a little game in the next month or so that we can publish to Steam. Man, maybe we need checkpoints. This is kind of like Hill Climb Racing or one of those type of games as well, with the physics and the sort of kind of parkour mechanics. Good grief. So it's surprisingly difficult. Resident Tech. All right, we're just gonna chill, go nice and slow here. All right, nice and slow here. Now you can touch. All right, chill in there. Whoa, chill in there. And I think I need to go up now. Yeah, there's the landing pad over there. But this is a narrow spot. Oh, and I'm out of fuel. That's another thing I forgot to mention. You have a fuel gauge over here. Oh, dude. We should have to verify that the levels are in fact winnable. Kind of like Mario Maker. You can't submit a level that's just too trolling you. Players need to be able to succeed. So I need to coast more. Good grief. I think Resende Tech also scaled this level, so it's one of our larger levels in terms of the width of the level. I'm just trying to coast a little bit more now. I got a little bit of fuel left. I've got to get up and over. It is winnable. All right, let's see. Level 6. I didn't open level 7. Double click that. Level 7, we'll play it. Let's see, now they may have a moving obstacle here. Yeah, wow. Okay, but that gives you a little bit of a boost. That's cool. Let's see where we need to go. Just over here. I like it, and they made some changes to the, oh no. They made some changes to the level design itself, the, what we're calling the environment, or the ground, essentially. Whew. Oh man. All right, we're gonna go forward and let it get a boost there. Up. Oh. There we go, nice boost. Okay, now this one, what do I do here? Just gonna wait it out. Ah, I tilted too much. All right, the boost technique works though pretty good. We're thinking about having like a feature where you have high scores, or you're competing against your own previous time. The fuel mechanic gives you a nice time pressure because you have to get everything done before you run out of fuel. All right, so there's a good 2 new levels I approve, and I'll just take a quick look. I'm going to approve the pull request. We're in a collaborative spirit, of course, in this game. Ideas are welcome. We have a lot of ideas. Ideas are cheap though, and can be surprisingly big. So we're cautious about the ideas we take in, and we want to think about how they affect other choices and potentially future choices. Like, should we have multiplayer? How would this feature impact multiplayer? I think that the scene has this new environment test. The environment test is just bigger. It's twice as long, basically, the environment. It's just our short one that we were starting with. So, as we get better, we're going to have better names for things. We're going to have conventions about using underscores instead of spaces. But for now, I think this is a good pull request. You can just see how our levels are designed right there in the Godot editor. So that's a good one. Let's go ahead and hop back over to GitHub, and I can just approve it. I'll add a comment, but I'll approve and merge, and we'll merge that. And I'll just fix the names in my branch. Okay, so we're merged. I'm just gonna hop over to VS Code real quick. Check out the main branch. Stash those, I didn't make any meaningful changes. Pulled the changes down, and we're off to the races. So today, we're gonna probably be using Claude and GitHub Copilot to do a little bit of feature development. But I have to take a look at what our priorities are right now. So I'm just updating our Discord channel, so everybody knows, and it might be worth. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, we don't have any issues really. We do. Max just created one. Yeah, we have discussions and issues. So when we have an idea, sometimes it's good to start a discussion here. It's public. We started this discussion in Discord. There's no hard rules. Discord's like semi-public. People can join it. GitHub is public, and it's related closely to the source code. So when possible, I try to encourage us to move the discussions over to GitHub. And when we have a kind of a consensus about an idea, we might put it in our issues. We're not really formal in how we're working together. This is our first game. We're learning to work together. But I'll just give you an example how I can use kind of Copilot, or actually we're going to use Claude here, maybe ChatGPT, to flesh out this issue based on the discussion. So I've got streamer mode enabled. I think I can show the Discord on stream now. When streamer mode's enabled, it's privacy protecting. There we go. So we had this discussion today. I just had a cool idea. In addition to a boost button, we could have a rewind button. The music could go backwards as well. So we're implying there's a music feature, which if you notice, there wasn't any music, and that we can play music backwards. There's probably multiple ways of going about that, but ideas imply other ideas. And that's why it can be kind of dangerous in software and in general, but game development is a type of software development to kind of come up with a bunch of ideas. We have to be very careful what we include in the game and think about how it affects other features and prune the ones that are too big in scope or that aren't aligned with the general direction of the game. So we did have a session on this. So what I'm going to do is just grab all of this discussion. And so this also implies like a HUD, heads up display. And what I'm going to do is hop over to Claude. Please help me summarize this discussion as a GitHub feature request. And we will do concise. Let's see what it comes up with. Time rewind mechanic feature request. Add a time rewind mechanic that allows players to reverse the movement and state of specific game objects, creating a new puzzle-solving opportunities and gameplay mechanics. Create a rewind node that can be added to objects requiring rewind functionality. Rewind node records the object state, position, and rotation. So like the transformations. In a fixed size array. Fixed size array is good because that should allow us to automatically purge the items that are old, I hope. Global state controller to manage rewind mode and physics processing. Can you disable physics processing for individual objects in Godot? I think so, because you define the physics process at the individual object level. So we don't have to necessarily disable a global physics process. For example, the rocket that the player is controlling might still need physics so that you can still maneuver while time is reversing. Option to selectively apply rewind to specific objects. Okay, this is actually starting to come along while the game objects are in this kind of rewinding state. Global state controller to manage rewind mode and physics processing. So it's kind of the same. I've updated the feature request to clarify that physics processing should only be disabled for rewinding objects while the player rocket maintains the active physics. Okay, well that's cool. Let's keep reading and just edit this as well. Time rewind button / control. Yeah, probably it's going to be like a keyboard shortcut currently, though if we're targeting touch screens, then we'll have to think about that. Reverse music playback during rewind. Okay, that might mean we just need to record our music and then also have a reversed mode, but yeah, it's going to be kind of challenging. It should reverse from the point in time of the music playback. So let's think about that. That's, yeah, kind of why. Starting simple and having less is always a good heuristic. It's a good philosophy. We might just not have the music one. So I can say optionally. State recording system with memory management, which could lead to like memory leaks or other strange glitches, or just high memory usage if there's a lot of objects rendering. So this, yes. Integration with existing systems, inventory system for collecting time crystals and power-ups. So time crystals would be sort of one idea of how we could do this reversing mechanic if we collect those, but we might just start with having the ability to reverse time. Heads-up display, selectively there we are. Disable physics only for objects in the rewind state. Maintain active physics processing for player rocket during rewind. Pack system to define rules and available items per level. So this is interesting, and it got included here because it was part of the conversation that we will have perhaps level packs or content packs that include power-ups and other game mechanics. We'll have to approach that, but it's like one idea that we have, that if we might be able to get some funding for the game, we could offer these, such as to Patreons, or have level packs that you can buy on Steam or something like that, while keeping the core game open source to the extent we can. Memory management for state recording, multiplayer compatibility. Yeah, the reason this might be a factor is we have to think about a lot of things in multiplayer, including how to synchronize the game state, the level. And I don't know, so I was just putting that out there. We might need to be careful about, core things like physics and multiplayer, and then balancing is going to be a factor that's interesting. Integration with the boost mechanic. I don't know if it needs that specifically to be addressed. Enemy interactions, though we don't have enemies, so this is where, again, we start free associating, and which I was doing also, and kind of spitballing. And it might be that we want to start with the enemies or some sort of obstacle. Like, is the level the only adversary that you face, or are there sort of other things that are more antagonistic, like following you or launching projectiles at you? We haven't decided on that. Special visual effects for rewind. Okay, yeah, that could be a future enhancement. Level design incorporating rewinding puzzles, and a pack system for different rule sets. Okay, so this is pretty good. What we'll do is just go over to GitHub a little bit, look at this backwards action, and we will edit that. Put the original text there. Time rewind mechanic. The global state should probably only need to manage the rewind mode. Is rewinding. The physics will be done at the individual object level. And I'm just using another AI called Grammarly to help me with a little bit of grammar from the generated output. But I think this sounds pretty good. So we'll save that with a bit more context from the conversation. That way it's public and we can discuss that more. Boom, time rewind, game mechanic. Good. From my perspective though, in terms of the priorities, we have this project now. I would think this would be kind of a low priority, and the size is probably large to extra large, especially given our level of familiarity and expertise with the Godot engine and game development in general. I think we're all kind of starting out here. Some of us have a bit more experience, but none of us are professionals. And so expertise is a bit of a fuzzy, definition, of course. But I don't know the estimate, but I don't think we're going to work on that right away. So it's low priority and it's fairly big, large or extra large. Those are my intuitive guesses. And then we can discuss that with the team, what we think. And so where these do appear is on our Nexus project. So we have this kind of a Kanban way that we're managing here. And today I would like to work on one of these tasks that I'm assigned to. And I did get a controller. I might work on the controller support and background music. So what I'm going to do is convert these to, and I actually completed that, so that's done. And I'm going to start converting these to GitHub issues, convert to issue, and we will put that in the Nexus. And background issue, convert that to issue, put that in Nexus. That way we can track these. Rocket Fuel game mechanic, that's done. That was done, and we just didn't assign Resende. So since that, I'll just convert it to an issue and mark it as done. We need a main menu. And I'm thinking we should just use an existing main menu type plugin from the Godot asset library. Moving hazard, rolling ball. That's an idea. And that's where, the physics is one of the core game mechanics. 3-level map pack. Convert that to issue. And that was Resende. Oh no, this is max. So we're waiting for max. Fuel, boost, bubble. And there's not much description, but max is just going to do, 3 levels based on our current level components. So we're not asking for any new game mechanics or anything there, just to build the levels. And that's the Resende Tech also had this 2-level map pack, which he delivered today. We reviewed that today. It's done. Static background image. This would be a nice touch. Adding that. So we already have several issues, and that's an important thing. We have to really balance and lean more heavily towards implementing the existing ideas and issues that are in our backlog. And new ideas are welcome, but we have to put emphasis on very practical and small steps. And that's our ethos, is every week we should be delivering something and not just ideating, because you can just get stuck in ideas, creating ideas forever and not deliver on any of them, on the potential of any of them. When ideas are big, and take time to incrementally develop. This game idea is already kind of big. And this would be helpful, this exposing all transformation properties for moving hazard in the editor UI for game designers, level designers. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and let me take a quick break and I'll decide which of these tasks, which I'm assigned to, that I will work on. Right now, they're all priority 1, so they're all the same priority. Okay, and let me see if I got the controller. So I'll be right back. I don't have a AFK screen, but I'm just going to pause mine. Okay, I did find a controller, and I'm going to try to see if I can get this controller to work. I've never used it on the laptop. If I can get input from the controller, then I will add controller support this task. Okay, it says it's connected. Okay, let's just see if I can get something here. Very cool. Okay, so there's that, and boost probably should be B. I don't know. Well, we can tweak it. And then we have right rotation, which can be, this is interesting, and there's 2, and we might want thrust to be this trigger, and boost can be the shoulder trigger, I don't know. And then left needs to be that one, and that one be the shoulder trigger. I don't know what we would use left trigger for, but that's usually like brakes. Now if I just play the game, it's working. But my axes are inverted. That's really strange. There's probably a bug in the code. Out of fuel. So boost and everything is working. All right, so we're off to a good start. We've got a few bugs there I can see. The boost is not turning off the bubbles. Maybe I have my keyboard map wrong. Let's see. When I press the D on the controller, it rotates right, and the S rotates left. So let's see if I got those swapped. And while we're here, I'm just going to go ahead and create a branch so that we can commit these changes. Project setting. So good, I didn't need to buy a new game controller. All right, so let's see. Thrust is working. Rotate left. Oh, that's what I did wrong. I just swapped them. Okay, so that was my fault. Okay, so rotate left is the first one. I just didn't read it closely enough. All right, no problem. Left. Rotate left. And then rotate left. There we go. That's why we need to test it. I have to have a controller that I can test. Rotate right. Rotate right. Interesting. So that works. That works. Boost works, but it doesn't. So we do have a bug. That's working. And this is working. All right, good. I'll just open the bug report. We can separately fix. So I'll have Claude write this bug report for me. The bubbles keep bubbling. So I'll just take that and I'll build on that. And that's the thing that, these LLMs, of course, can get us usually pretty close, but not exactly. Sometimes it's easier just to take the output and modify it myself here, of course. Particle effect bubbles continue to display after boost is completed, incorrectly indicating active. Observe the particles continuing to emit after boost. Particles should stop emitting immediately when the boost completes. Current behavior. Particles continue to emit after the boost completes. Creates misleading visual feedback about the thrust state. The boost is on fire. Okay, check. And what I can do is provide a little bit of sample code here. I think we can actually get this solution. So that way it'll be a low-hanging fruit. We will label it as a bug. Good first issue, help wanted. That way we might get some outside contributors as well. Cool. And one thing we might try is this, see if we can fix it with Copilot chat. But let's stay where we are and finish this. So essentially, the task is basically complete. If I hop back over to VS Code, we can see I'm in my branch, yes. And the project was modified to add a new input map. Yeah, this is weird. Why is Godot generating new unique identifiers? A bit spammy. Well, since it's doing that, let's go ahead and rename those. It's a small refactoring change, so I will include it in this pull request. We'll publish the branch on the origin. We'll open a pull request and we'll ask for help description. Rename levels and add controller mapping. Introduce controller mapping for enhanced input handling. Okay, sounds good. Great. We've got pull request open. I'll ask for review. But it's essentially how we're going to be collaborating here. Keeping things in the GitHub issue queue, assigning them and taking them small steps at a time, opening pull requests, asking for peer review, and welcoming ideas and discussions from the broader community. Streaming on Twitch, for example, to get more visibility and bring other people's ideas into the game. So this has been a live code session. We're working on the open source game. Working title is called Nexus. It's built with Godot Engine. It's open source on GitHub. I'll share the link one more time. If you'd like to get involved or try the game out, feel free to check out the source code there. We are hoping to publish this on Steam as well. Maybe in the next couple of months. We don't know anything about that process, so it'll be a learning journey. Welcome along. Hope you're doing well. Have a great day.